546 years ago, exactly on this date, or at least the time of this recording, the 10th of January, the Ottomans experienced their worst defeat ever, at least up to this battle. Welcome back, guys, to 1212 AD, the mod for Total War Attila. This is a historical recreation, and I absolutely love historical recreations, these historical scenarios. It just adds so much weight to the battle. I don't really know how to explain it, but it just feels like they are genuinely fighting for something, and that's just really cool. Seeing history unravel before our eyes is just a really fun and interesting and cool experience. So I do appreciate the support, guys. So sit back, relax, get some snacks and drinks, and enjoy the slaughter. So what is this battle? This is the Battle of Vaslui. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I know very little about this battle. I know about as much as Wikipedia is telling me here. But from what I've learned from the Wikipedia page, it sounds amazing. I mean, talk about an underdog story. So the Ottomans are attacking Moldavia, and according to certain sources, it depends on which source, the Ottomans had between 50 to 100,000 troops. I know that's a pretty wide gap, but they had a lot of forces. So this is the Ottoman force here attacking, and the Moldavians had about 40,000 troops, plus some Hungarian and Polish mercenaries on their side. And just by pure... Well, they also had cannons. I also want to note that they had 20 cannons, which definitely helps out quite a ton. Definitely in a river crossing situation. In this recreation, they don't have cannons, so just keep that in mind. But they used scorched earth, they poisoned the wells, they did everything they could to weaken this Ottoman army. They used they used their wit. They used hit and run tactics. I think they destroyed a bridge, if I'm not mistaken, that they were on or something. Again, I know very little about the battle, but they just annihilate the Ottoman forces. It is just tragic what happens. I think it's something like 40,000 casualties for the Ottomans and about 4,000 of their soldiers captured. And for the Moldavians, I think it's like 5,000 casualties. It is just a complete slaughter. And it's just one of those battles that is, I don't know, it just sounds really cool. And I definitely want to read up more about this battle, as it is very, very interesting. So Stephen III of Moldavia, of course, by winning this battle, he definitely got a lot of praise from the Pope. He was referred as the champion of Christ by Pope Sixtus IV. And he also referred to him the true defender of the Christian faith. So those are some pretty crazy titles back then, and you know, that's pretty awesome. I don't know, it's just a really cool, fascinating story of just using, you know, homeland knowledge, scorched earth, you know, using hit and run, ambush, everything you can to win this battle. That's just really fascinating. So let's go ahead and dive into this battle. Oh, you know what, really quick before we do, I do appreciate the support, guys, leaving likes, and you know, if you enjoy the video, don't forget to like and all that jazz. Also, guys, let me know down in the comments, what do you think is the most embarrassing defeat ever in history? This could be ancient, modern, whatever it may be. Let me know down in the comments, because I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about that. So let's jump into this scenario. It's not exactly historically accurate, but it never will be. And, you know, it's a video game, but it's close, and it's enough to kind of help us experience the historical event. So on the Moldavian side, we have two armies. Well, this is a Polish army over here, so big old Polish army. And then right next to them, kind of in the center-ish, we have a Moldavian army, so the Principality of Moldavia. So they have some really cool forces. I honestly, I don't think I've seen these guys yet. So they're going to be fun to watch. Right next to them, I think we have another army from Moldavia. And then finally in the back, we have some Hungarians on the battlefield, which is a solid faction in this game. So let's go to the other side. So it is consisting of 3 armies of the Sultanate of Rum, and 1 army is like an Ottoman sultanate. If I can find them, are they in the back here? No, that's all Sultanate of Rum. They are Sultanate. Oh, here they are. Here they are. This is the Ottomans. So they are representing the Ottoman forces here. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. It's going to be a fun battle. Good old river crossing. Let's go normal speed and enjoy the fight. So it looks like it is starting over here on this. This would be their right flank from their perspective. The Moldavians have some archers just letting loose and opening fire. Now, another rule that I forgot to mention is that the Ottomans have to attack. So they have 25% more resources or funds, gold, when they were building their army. So they have a bit advantage in terms of financial, wealth, I guess, or they had. Oh my God, words are hard. They have the advantage of more money. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. But of course, Moldavia has the advantage of being defensive. So there we go, fire ammo coming in. I'm kind of surprised they're wasting ammo on these spearmen as they're in shield wall. They're going to be tough to kill. I would be opening fire on these archers, trying to soften them up. But nothing yet has started on that side, just a lot of skirmishing. There was a bit of skirmishing from Poland. They had their crossbows, but I think well, I don't see any casualties here, so it's not like they were losing the skirmish. They just pulled back. And I think they're kind of forcing the Ottomans here to push and go into their death trap here. Look at that. You see that? Just a big old U shape. So very cool. On the other side, though, they're using a bit more of a blunt, straightforward defense where they're just holding. They're not going to bend at all. They are just a solid, hard defense. Wasn't it Bruce Lee who has said, don't be, I don't know, what did he, I'm gonna screw this up. I wish I didn't even bring this up. Something like, don't be rigid, or be like water. So when, you don't break, you change shape. I just slaughtered it so much. All right, here comes the charge. Looks like they're setting in some swordsmen against these spears. Spears should not hold long. They actually got hit pretty hard by archers. It's actually a good move there. I think he was firing the flank. So yeah, be like water so you can change form, you can adapt. Anyways, you get what I'm saying. Someone will be like, Apollo, you dumbass. This is what the quote is, and you can do it in the comments. Thank you, I appreciate it. Halberds pushing in with some swordsmen. Halberds are definitely going to be a tough unit to get by, and this is definitely a unit you want to try to focus some archer fire on. But look at this. Look at this force. Oh my God, that is so. That's sexy. That is a sexy force moving forward. Oh my God, and the water has to be freezing. So it's getting really intense over here. It's getting really intense. Yeah, don't be rigid or you'll break. You don't want to break. But they're being rigid in their defense, and they have yet to break as they send up their swords into the next little wave of attackers. Despot Spearmen. There we go. The fight continues. A little laggy. This is a 4v4 battle. The frames should, get better over time. Of course, this is Total War Attila, and it has the worst performance, I think, out of any Total War. I don't know. It's up. That's opinion, but whatever. But yeah, some nice archer fire coming down, really doing a lot of damage. I think I'm seeing, mostly archer fire from the Ottomans, just really trying to weaken this front line. And they're just going to send wave after wave. And that's the good thing about kind of holding this choke point, is that you can you know, you could hold with 2 units, but unfortunately, they are actually breaking pretty quickly. And I think the Ottomans are doing a fantastic job here in this initial attack. They're killing the defenders very quickly. The archers are pulling a lot of the weight. As long as they hold on to a lot of ammo, I think they're going to do just fine. Now, on the other side, they have yet to cross. Now, it's pretty obvious why. They know if they march their way into here, it's going to be, you know, it's just a madhouse. They're going to get shot from multiple angles. Infantry is going to charge in from multiple angles, excuse me. Yeah, they're probably holding back because they're doing very well on this side, and maybe what they're hoping that their teammates are going to do is that they're going to break through this defense, and it's going to cause a lot of these troops to kind of have to peel over this way, and then they're going to push up. That might be a little delayed attack there and wait for this, you know, ring defense, this U-shaped defense to weaken a little bit, which it already is, as we can see some crossbows are shifting over to the other side of the battlefield because the Ottoman archers are just too much for the defenders right now, and they are just butchering the defenders. They are slaughtering them. And these spears, I mean, look at this. They've lost 6. The amount of fighting that they've had, and they've lost 6. And over here, let's see, what other spearmen, I think they lost a little bit more than 6. Yeah, so like 14. That's still really good. And now we've got a huge blob pushing in, and this is really when this is when the defenders' archers really need to kick in here and start softening up these troops, because this is going to be a problem. It is wise of them to kind of fall back a little bit. I like how they fell back because it makes it a little bit more difficult for the archers to get a flanking fire. They can still kind of get a flanking fire here, but it was way easier over here. So let's hope that the defenders can hold a little bit better here on their almost look like Hobby Spears type unit. So yeah, this battle was fought on the 10th of January, 1475. Like I said, I think I said in the intro, at the time that I'm recording this battle, it's the 10th of January. By the time I publish the video, it will be like, you know, the 11th or 12th or whenever I publish this. So still very, very cool, because I just kind of, someone sent me this replay. Someone who sends in really awesome replays, known as Cassius. He does amazing battles. And I just randomly saw it in my email. I was like, you know what? I'm feeling 12-12. Let's put on a sick battle. And sure enough, today is the actual date of the battle. That is so cool. That is so cool. So the Ottomans still trying to fight their way up this slight hill. The archers are shifting back and forth. They're shifting around. Oh, wait. There's a push over here. There is a push. We've got cheap troops. That's a smart play. They sent up cheap spearmen. They're still decent, but they don't look too heavily armored. And if someone just shoots some arrows at them, they might fall quickly. But they sent them up, and I think they're just kind of, you know, tipping their toes in the water. And I like the fact that the defenders aren't wasting their ammo on this unit. At least I don't think they are. They are now moving them up closer because they do have more professional troops that are close behind these scouting troops, I guess is what you could say. That's a nice way of calling them. You know, basically they're like throwaway troops. But yeah, they're ready to hold, and so are the Polish sergeants, who are in a very cool way moving forward. This is sick. This is awesome. Very cinematic. They're closing in, and they are going to clash. A nice slow clash. It's always something so eerie about that, you know? Instead of charging in, slowly closing in. But yeah, they're going to hold pretty well here. They're definitely going to beat these spears, but of course reinforcements will come in. We also have some heavy axemen who are going to help the swordsmen even more, the sergeants even more. Back over here, the spears are still holding. These guys are doing much better than their counterparts, who died very quickly, mostly because of the archer fire. But yeah, they did die quickly to the Ottoman push, and they are holding, and they're kind of stabilizing the situation here, at least for now. And they're also causing the Ottomans to waste a lot of their ammo. Keep in mind, guys, that ammo is important, even in pitch battles, especially in river crossing battles. You want to try to hold on to some ammo. You don't want to waste it all right away, Because look at this. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of ammo left on the defending side, you know? So they could easily out-skirmish their opponent. Here comes a little cav charge. This is sick. Look at this. So one of their units broke. They're going to charge in some cav. It's a very good job there. They're going to disengage. A little hit-and-run tactic like the historical battle. But they're going to send up some halberds to try to prevent this gap from opening. But they're a little behind. And they need to hurry up because this unit might get flanked. They need to rush in there. They are making good time, though, and they should secure this flank and close the gap. Plug the gap, I should say, and keep on defending this very strategic slope. Let's go back over to the other side where the Ottomans, amazingly, well, one of their spears, the Yaya, I like the name, Yaya. I'm sure it's not pronounced like that, but yeah. But yeah, they are breaking against the Polish infantry, but they did send in their swordsmen to reinforce. We just, I mean, like, oh my God, we have this really cool front line. I mean, just imagine being in this front line. It would be so chaotic. It would be just a disgusting fight. Blood everywhere, arrows flying overhead. Especially if you're in the front line. You know, like, talk about there's no getting out of it. You got to fight your way out of this because, you know, if you want to step back, but you got your comrades behind you, I guess you could say, or fellow soldiers, you know, your allies, your brothers in arms behind you, kind of pushing you forward because they don't want to give up, and then you're in the front getting pushed back by the other side. It'd just be like a very scary situation. You know, it would be very scary to be in a fight like this, for sure. But yeah, it's getting pretty intense there, and it's kind of like you know, a rock and a hard place. Both sides not wanting to give up. So let's go back over to the other side and see how it's playing out. So it looks like it's going well. They are breaking some units. That's good. So finally, the defenders on this side are getting a bit of a victory. Maybe not enough to win the battle overall, but enough to slow down and stop the bleeding over on this side of the defense. Now, there are some hidden cav units, or cav, well, yeah, they're cav, but they're archer cav. So that's going to be fun to see them in action. So they might be thinking, the defenders, that is, might be thinking, you know what? They're pretty much out of ammo. Their general has some. They have some gunners over here. But that's nothing too scary. And they got to be feeling pretty good. So maybe when the horse archers show up, they'll have this, you know, false sense of security until the archers show up, the horse archers, and then they're like, oh, crap, they have two horse archers that we have to worry about. So maybe that's why he's kind of hiding them in that tree line. It's always good to hide some of your units, you know, until when they're needed most. It keeps the other players on their toes and kind of, you know, it's like having an ace up your sleeve sort of talk. But we saw a big fallback. You see that? A bunch of troops fell back. It's because the gunners, I believe, were going off. Yeah, and they're still going off. Nice. This would be a really good position here. The slope. Fire down, and they're just shooting. I think they're shooting for the back lines. I mean, I don't think they should really shoot at these archers because they're out of ammo. They look really cool, though. But yeah, just shoot in the side of the infantry. I think they were causing some morale issues. And look at, they've even pushed up to where they originally held against the Ottomans. Good job on the defenders on that side. It's very back and forth over there. On this side, again, very even. I would say it looks like the Ottomans are starting to gain a little bit of an edge because we have a lot of troops breaking and they're getting shot in the back. That's not good for morale, which is so cool because that's kind of how medieval battles played out. You know, you had the infantry clash, and the killing process was pretty slow when the infantry clashes. You guys ever see, sometimes you'll have like clubs of people who, you know, wear authentic medieval equipment and they'll use weapons. Obviously they're dull, but they'll have like 20v20. I know there's something called like Battle of Nations or something like that. where they fight, and sometimes you'll see, like, in Russia, I see this all the time, they love this stuff, where you have like 50v50, they clash, and it's just like a lot of just like brute force, not necessarily a lot of killing going on, and obviously they're using blunt weapons, so they're not really killing each other in real life, but it kind of gives you a bit of an insight to the warfare of this time, of how the front line of infantry would kind of clash and kind of a bit of a tug of war. It wasn't, of course, obviously people died, but it wasn't as fast as a rate as when a force retreated or fell back and they got shot, or, you know, the cab would run them down. That was usually towards the end of the battle. See, the end of the battle probably saw the most casualties and death when they were trying to fall back and they're getting chased down by arrows and cav. But anyways, a little side note. They have broken through, that stutter there, they have broken through, the archers are falling back, and now the infantry is charging forward, and this is the next layer of defense. Here comes a nice charge here by the German men-at-arms. Oh my goodness, that was juicy. So they're gonna keep going. They pretty much made that unit evaporate out of existence. Imagine being hit so hard by fully armored soldiers riding on giant war horses, and just you're gone. You're just evaporated into nothingness. So they're gonna fall back. That was a great charge. That was so fun. That was cool to see. Back over on this side, they're still holding. Look at that. They're still holding, and they're gonna have to rely on their infantry now, because their gunners or their archers are out of ammo. They do have the horse archers, but they're waiting for a surprise, I suppose. The gunners over here are now fighting. I think they're either shooting at the infantry or shooting at the enemy gunners. I think they're shooting at the enemy gunners. I'm seeing them drop here. And Moldavia hold. Alright, we got some kind of like billmen for the Ottomans. So it's a battle of pokey over here, as both sides are poking each other with their long-reaching weapons. We have some more cav charges going in. This is Moldavia sending in some cav. We have some horse archers from Moldavia as well. Oh, they go in for a melee. I like it. They have like almost full ammo. See, that's why horse archers are so devastating, because they're obviously not like normal archers. They have a choice to sometimes be able to charge in. You know, if you have a light unit or a flank exposed, the horse archers could be like, you know what? I'm done shooting from a distance. We're charging in. That's what we saw there, and that was beautiful. And yeah, this is just a wear and tear kind of battle. They are just tearing and wearing as much as they can on this Ottoman force, to hopefully, if they ever do cross this river and it's just like a full-on normal battle, they have enough strength to win it. Look at this breakage over here. 1, 2, 3, 4 units are breaking. But let's look at the reserves. Plenty of reserves. Look at this hidden force. Oh my god, this is so good. This is so good. The Hungarians have pretty much their entire army hidden in this tree line, which is hilarious because it's winter and there's like no leaves and there's snow on the ground, so they kind of stand out from the snow a little bit. But they are hidden and they don't see them. I'm sure the players are smart enough to realize that this can't be it. It doesn't seem like everyone. So they probably know there's some units over here waiting for them, but how many units is the question. How many units is waiting for them? So, or are waiting for him. So what I would do is I would bluff maybe a retreat. So it's a risky one, and I think, you know, he's doing the right thing by continuing to hold over here. But an option that he could do is make it look like he's losing this fight and he needs to regroup with his allies. So you can start shifting troops this way and setting up here. And then maybe the Turks, the Ottomans, will be like, all right, let's just full send into this flank because we got them on the run. And then all of a sudden the Hungarians charge this way. and just crush. Now, again, ambushes are so difficult to do in Total War. They really are. So I don't think it's worth trying to set that up, but maybe he does it. I don't know. Maybe he does. See, back over here, we've got some troops wavering. And that's the great thing. I get these battle replays from Cassius, which he sends in amazing battles all the time. So sometimes if it's a replay from someone I don't know, I'll watch through it. Sometimes, not all the time, but I'll watch through it just to make sure it's a good battle. But with Cassius, I always know it's a great battle. So it's fun to not know what's going to happen and kind of, you know, try to guess what's going to happen in this fight, in this battle. But they've moved up their horse archers, and they're going to use obviously a ranged attack. The archers are firing back though. Crossbows are going to do a lot of damage, but oh my god, look at the amount of arrows that just flew in. And now we have a charge by the Great Banner of Krakow. I never get that name. Or Krakow? The Great Banner. I'll just call him the Great Banner. They were charging in, but of course the horse archers are going to simply back away. And this is a good move. I like this by the defender. He's keeping the horse archers on their toes and not letting them just sit back and fire with ease. So he's just kind of chasing them, keeping them back. This is good. Make them fall back to their infantry, and then all your archers can focus fire here. And oh, he commits. Look at that. He commits to this fight. Moldavia going in, and look at, oh my god, the Turks are sending in their cav, or the Ottomans sending in their cav. We have a big old cav engagement. This is beautiful. Horse archers have moved up now from Moldavia. My goodness, and they're crushing their cav. Zoom out a little bit, see the bigger picture. Look at all the cav pouring in. The infantry's pouring in now. Now we have infantry from the defenders pouring in. They're still holding over on that back flank. And now we have even more cav going in. This is it. This is the great, I don't know, great explosion of troops. This is the full-on commitment time. The commitment time. As everyone's just crowding into this fight. We have cav that are, they're going to charge right into halberds. But they, you know, the halberds weren't really in a brace position. The charge wasn't too bad. I think they were going for the crossbows though. The halberds definitely say, hey, no, not this time. Could have been better though if they were holding their ground. And now more and more of this infantry is pouring in. And this is how this battle is going to unravel. Big ol' axes going at it. More troops pushing in. This is great. The general now, the king's bodyguard, is going into the fight as well. He's going to hold the center. And I wonder, yeah, they are going to push up more infantry. And this is it. This is all they have. I don't know. This is going very well for the defenders. History might repeat itself, but definitely it's not as close as, or this is closer compared to history. You know what I hate in Attila too is the lighting. The lighting is terrible where you can't even see what's going on in some angles. Like, especially during these like cloudy, snowy days where it's just like the sun's not getting in and it's very dark. And some of this armor is very dark and it's just hard to tell. Yeah, they are putting up a great show here. A great show. Well done. Now more and more infantry's pouring in. I think they're sending everything they got. This is it. Nice little charge with the cav there. Killing those spearmen. And there's really not much over here either. So this is going to be a close fight. We'll see who's going to take it. But so far, I mean, the defenders are doing well. But the balance of power is still even, guys. But maybe the Ottomans have some units, you know, hidden, ready to push when the time is just right. So I think the Polish cav might want to, well, they're going to leave them in, but they have some of their own axes against the big axes of the Ottomans. Trying to even the fight here. Oh, yeah, there you go. There we go. Look at the defenders just crushing right now. But here comes another wave. Another wave of Ottoman forces.
Enemy units have been rallied.
Nice little counter charge by the defenders with their cav. Their cav is doing wonders right now. It's getting very laggy as there's so many moving pieces moving. So many troops moving. But again, I mean, it's pretty even in terms of reserves and what everybody has left. I don't know, this is going to be tough. At this quick glance, right? At this time, I don't know if the Ottomans can win this. Just kind of looking over, I mean, the defenders are they're kind of destroying over here. They're doing very well. And let's see, this doesn't make sense, right? What doesn't make sense to me is that this looks pretty even in terms of numbers. This side looks pretty even in terms of numbers. But over here is an entire Hungarian army that has seen zero action, but yet the balance of power is even. I think the Ottomans might have, is there another way to cross? No, there's not. But I think the Ottomans might have something somewhere. Something somewhere, I don't know. We'll see. Let's get back to the front line over here where things are getting real wild. Look at the Polish are winning on this flank as troops constantly are breaking, falling back, regrouping, and pushing for this position. I mean, I would almost feel confident enough to kind of push in the troops and just fight at the river crossing. I mean, they have plenty of troops and they have enough troops to do it. Just looking for sneaky. Is there any sneaky going around? I mean, there's no possible way. There's two ways to cross. There's no way the Ottomans have forces in this tree line. Oh, here's some big breaking on the defending side. Keep that in mind. And there are a lot of infantry here, so it could sway in favor of the Ottomans in terms of breaking through this defense. Whose general is this? Oh. One of the Ottoman generals has died, or at least has broken. And that's going to cause a huge morale loss in the attackers. Another enemy general oh, it's the same one. Okay. Wait, are they falling back? They are doing a fallback. Why?
Our men are breaking off.
You know what? I guess they are worried about what's left in this Ottoman army. Let's see, they still have, 2 swordsmen. They have some spears here. They've got archers with a lot of ammo. They also have their guard over here, which I'm sure this unit is extremely good. Look how fancy. The fancier the unit, the more deadly they are. You know that's true. And over here, we've got some big old axes. So I guess they don't like what they see. They are doing a full-on retreat. This is the time where they link up, I assume, with the Hungarian army. Also, look at all this cav over here, too. They have hussars. King's bodyguard. Look at that. Dude. My God. Look at this Chad.
Steady.
That's nice. That's a cool unit. King's bodyguard looks awesome. So they have now fallen back. This side is regrouping. But okay, so they are falling back to the safety of the Hungarians over here. I was more thinking they should go this way, make the Ottomans pursue them, and then the Hungarians come crashing down. But the balance of power is starting to go in favor of the defenders, and that seems right. You know, it seems right because, you know, they still have this Hungarian force, but I think I don't think they needed to fall back. I think they could have continued to hold their choke points, but I think they just want to use this Hungarian army in a cool way. So maybe they're like, all right, let's make them fall back and maybe set up some really like a really awesome ambush or something. Maybe that's why they're falling back. But the Ottomans are not just pursuing gung-ho as these forces retreat. You know, they're kind of sitting there for a little bit. Maybe he's worried about an ambush. I'm not really sure, but maybe he's just thinking about what to do next. Now we have some gunners in the tree line moving up. They're gonna fire down at the advancing Ottoman forces. The Ottomans are out of ammo, so they're probably gonna bite the bullet here. Essentially, they can't really fight back. And I wonder if he's using his gunners as bait to get him to chase the army over here, which are still hidden. I'm gonna sit right here and see the exact moment they're not hidden. Ready? Still hidden. This one's getting shot at, but they're all still hidden, pretty sure. And there we go. They've been spotted. They have been spotted. And they gotta feel just completely like, oh, what? There's a whole nother army? Are you serious? And look at, they're falling back. Yeah, there's a little bit of a Cav engagement going on with what's left with Cav. Yeah, I would say just send in the Hungarians. Got more Cav over here fighting a good fight. And they do defeat the defenders' Cav, but, you know, they have so many forces left. We'll go ahead and fast forward a little bit, as this army is just stationed here. It's, I don't know, again, I think they're trying to think of a plan or something to try to figure out how they're gonna break through this defense. Okay, here we go. The tables have turned. The defenders are now on the attack. We have Cav chasing down some out-of-place archers. The Ottomans continue to hold this river crossing where it's iced over, but they are not advancing because I think they want to use the superior positioning of this, you know, choke point. Over on this side, the Hungarians have now advanced their forces, and you can see, like I said, tables have turned. The Ottomans are now on defense, and they're just getting shot. They're just getting shot into pieces by these gunners. And here comes a lot of angry Moldavians pushing and ready to kick out the Ottomans. But they're gonna use, obviously they're gonna use their skirmishers as much as possible. Let's go check out these guys. What are they? Levy crossbow. Okay, so these are just levies. Smart move here. And they're getting the Ottomans to waste their ammo on their levy crossbows instead of their infantry. Better to lose some cheap archers to archer fire than, say, you know, sergeants high period. Here comes a little charge here by these foot guards. It's a pretty deadly unit. I love the symbol here. It's both infantry and archer. That's how you know they're devastating. And this is it. They called in their troops. On this side, it looks like they're about to clash here as well. I really, just looking at this army, I don't see them holding against the Hungarians. Oh, look how cool this is. Look how cool this is as they're marching forward. God, this game is so beautiful. The mod is gorgeous. There's their push. The Ottomans counter push. These guys will probably do a lot of damage in defense, but over on this side, oh, is that a flanking charge? Oh yeah. Big old flanking charge from the other side. There's no infantry to support, but there is a lot of Ottoman Cav. Try to do something. Oh, here comes the other side. Oh my God, huge Huge cab push. That was cool. You probably saw in the mini-map that there's cab forces went around this way as well. And they're sandwiching in the Ottoman forces. God, I love this cab. Well-timed cab charge is always amazing in Cold War, especially in 1212. With it being medieval. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. The sexy Hungarian. That's awesome. Love the uniform. So there you have it, guys. And just like that, they are utterly crushed. We do have some units still holding on, but by a thread. Most of them are breaking. Most of them are fleeing. And we have the general like, don't you break, hold! General trying to fight off the king's bodyguard. But soon, all of the Hungarian army will clash and collapse on the general of the Ottomans. In the back over here, all they have to do is keep these guys occupied. Keep them busy, keep them honest, because soon, on the other side of the river, they're going to have some friendlies be able to flank around. This is a cool fight here. Have it, guys. They're gonna use this iced over ford here, this river crossing, to go around and attack the other Ottoman army, and there's nothing the Ottomans can do. They have their general back here, but I don't think this is some sort of strategy or tactic. I think this is just him kind of forgetting about his general from the front line. But just by the looks of this battle, I don't think they're gonna need to be able to flank around to beat this force. I think these troops will be able to destroy this defense on their own. And it does look like history is going to repeat itself again unless the Ottomans have some ace up their sleeve, some crazy thing, which I don't think they do. Just by looking at the balance of power, which I closed it away, but it doesn't look good. Doesn't look good for the Ottomans. So great fight. And the Ottomans are putting on a great show. But soon death and destruction in the form of horsemen are headed their way as they try to hold here. They've got their best units too. They've got some really cool like halberd units. Or no, that's Moldavia. They've got guard units, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the foot guard, Ulan foot guard. So the big axes. I think they have their deadly guard in the back. Yeah, they do. These guys would do really good against holding against, obviously against Cav. Here's their guard. This is what I was looking for. They're getting shot by archers, so I don't think this Cav is going to charge in. It would be kind of suicide to charge in. I think they're just going to rely on the archers to shoot at their backs. And yeah, sure enough, they're wavering. Oh, they are charging in. Wow. Okay. Respect. It was a suicide charge, but charge nonetheless. They broke through on this side. That's all that matters. Look at that Cav just got annihilated. That's why I was like, wow, he's charging. Yeah, he's just charging in like a madman. He's like, I don't even care. We won the battle. We can't win this. Now we have the general counter-charging, trying to maintain this back line as his main infantry continue to hold against the Polish and Moldavian forces. Here comes reinforcements. And the infantry is pretty far away. The Hungarians like barely fought in this battle. Their cav died. Their cav paid for it. Yeah, as they recklessly charged the rear of these troops. Look at it. They're just mad rushing in. This I do not recommend, but since it is looking like a victory, they just kind of carelessly charged in their troops. But guys, you never know. Oh, they were able to sneak around here. You never know, like the Ottomans could cause a huge chain rout. That's the risk of like sending in all these troops at once. Look at this front line.
Their lives.
Pretty epic. Now we have a general v general. I think the Hungarian player is just kind of having fun with the battle at this point. You know, just recklessly sending in his cav and sending in his general. But just by, you know, based on looking at the time, I think the Ottomans are on the verge of breaking. This dude looks like he's just taking a dump in the back here on an invisible toilet. And the Ottomans still fighting strong here against this army of death. But yeah, we'll fast forward because I think it's obviously, you know, quite clear who's going to win. History will repeat itself again, and the Moldavians will take it. Moldavia holds. I think they did a great job with this defense. I think they were very patient with their archers. They held back a lot of the archers, where the Ottomans used their archers very aggressively early on. So when it came to mid to late game, the you know, the defenders had a lot of firepower in terms of archers. They also held back the Hungarians as long as possible, which was really great because having those Hungarians in the tree line made it so they weren't getting harassed by archer fire. They weren't getting, you know, exhausted. So when they were deployed into the battle and like fought, like ordered to go in, they were fresh, a fresh army, almost like a reinforcement army. I mean, that's exactly what it was. And there we go. The shell is cracking as the external forces close in like a jaw of death on both sides. The general is on the verge of giving up, throwing the sword down. There he goes. He's given up. That's gonna, yep, that's gonna cause a massive, you know, morale crusher. And there you have it. The Ottomans are done, and Moldavia holds on. And Stephen III, once again, will be known as the champion of Christ. Let's go ahead and end the replay. And look at the results here of this fight. So big thank you to Cassius and all the players who played in this battle to make this possible. This was a really cool scenario. I love the historical scenarios. Always good fun. Look at the kills on the Cav. Look at that. That is nuts. And then over here on the Ottoman side, their archers, no surprise, did pretty solid. Their big ol' axe units did really well. And so even some of their swordsmen did decently well. Just one kill away from 100. Now, if we look at Frozen, he was the Hungarian, so he had a lot of troops left because he didn't see a lot of action, but still he got some pretty decent kills in there. We got some good kills here by the Moldavian forces. Very cool to see them in action. I haven't seen them in action before. That was a lot of fun. And then here are the kills for the attackers, the Ottomans, which, no surprise, they didn't get as much because, well, they're the attackers. You know, they have to run into very tough situations. But look at the kills of the gunners, 181 and 163 with the Cav. Very nice. Well, guys, that's going to wrap it up here for this battle, this historical battle. Hope you guys are having a good start to your new year. It's always fun to record these and share them with you, so I do appreciate the support. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time on the battlefield.